All right, folks. We're jumping in here, letting a few people jump on here, giving it a minute or so. We got a whole lot to talk about. We got a series of high impact weather events that's going to be impacting the region, folks, and all that begins today. We've got severe weather threat that's on the table. We've got the opportunity of some very damaging high-speed winds that's going to be coming through here as well, even outside of any rain or thunderstorms. A possible transition over to light snow tonight, and then focus is going to shift until late in the weekend into the early days of next week when we are going to be watching for the potential for that winter weather maker that's in the cards. But first and foremost, folks, we have to jump into what our primary focus is, and that is today with a high wind warning. Those are rather rare, that has been issued for the entire Wobbles community and beyond. Ongoing early this morning, we have got this approaching surface low pressure system out of the south and west. The pressure gradient is already tightening out there. We're already seeing winds at or exceeding 40 miles an hour across the region. Those are only going to increase as we work later into today and on into this afternoon. All right, so jumping out and taking a look over the latest radar here, we'll zoom in for you. We have already got the Wobbles community already getting engulfed by these rain showers working in from the south and west. This is going to be the weather story throughout a good chunk of the day, folks. There will be a few breaks here and there as we work into this afternoon, and that's whenever we are anticipating those winds to really get rocking and rolling in the great outdoors. Okay, so we can jump over here and get started overlooking the D93 Skycam. I'll be down there talking with my good buddy Tony Rose here right around 7:30, discussing all things weather on the leading radio classic rock station in Bowling Green and surrounding vicinity. We can also get a look over the Beechtree News Skycam north and west from Morgantown. We also have widespread showers that have already engulfed the region, gusty winds taking place over there as well. Temperatures have remained up throughout the overnight, folks, and they're going to hang right around the low and mid 50s until we get an occluded front through here later today. And then, folks, the bottom is absolutely going to drop out on those temperature readings, okay? So right now we're hanging around the lower 50s, but with that being said, we are also going to be looking at watching and monitoring those wind speeds as they pick up. We currently have peak wind gusts that have already exceeded 40 miles an hour down here in Simpson County, low and mid 30s region-wide here. But again, folks, those are only going to be increasing and picking up here as we work throughout the course of this Friday. Okay, so let's jump over here and take a look at the latest surface map. And folks, it is a busy one. We have got this mid-latitude cyclone located right just west of the region early this morning. We've got the opportunity of a wide variety of weather impacts for us, including but not limited to the strong straight line winds, howling winds, that is, the possibility of severe weather, and maybe even a change over to light snow tonight, before we get better opportunity at seeing a snowpack on the ground late Sunday on into the early days of next week. All right, so we might as well jump over here and jump into it. Let's get a look at what's going to be unfolding for us. We are looking at the mid-latitude cyclone and what a complex weather maker this is, okay? We've got brisk southerly winds. It's already intact out there. And with the wind speeds, folks, and the threats out there, we do have a school closing to mention. We've got Edmonson County schools that have been closed. Wouldn't be surprised to see a few more of those presented as we get after or even during this video here. But long story short, folks, with this series of high impactful weather events, I think we could probably use a creative name for the Kentucky weather roller coaster. What do you think? Maybe the Bluegrass Banshee 5000, something of that nature. We got hundreds of you all watching across our streams now. Throw us a few creative names in the comments. Maybe we can come to some sort of conclusion, all right? Jumping right into it, rain showers arriving from the west. They have already taken over the region. You can see how the rain is going to increase in coverage. And as we approach mid-morning, going into the afternoon, this is where the high wind warning is going to go into effect. This morning, we have an inversion that's in place, a little bit warmer air aloft than what's at the surface. That's helping to keep the stronger wind gusts slightly suspended up in the sky. But as we roll into midday and on into this afternoon, that inversion, folks, is going to erode out. It's going to make it much easier to bring those strong low-level winds down to the surface. So you can see here rolling on into lunchtime, and we get into early afternoon, folks, and this is where we're going to see this dry slot approaching out of the south and west, and this is whenever we expect that aversion to erode out. So the high wind of warning will take place and go into effect at 11 a.m. lasting through 6 p.m. this evening. Folks, we're talking about the potential for wind gusts outside of any rain and storms, potentially at or exceeding 50 to 60 miles an hour, okay? This can cause power outages. This can down trees. Please be aware of these possibilities, as I do believe this will be coming to fruition. We work later into the afternoon. A few of these isolated cells popping up could become strong to marginally severe. We do have a low-tier severe weather risk today. And then as we roll on into the evening and the overnight, whenever those temperatures begin to plummet out there, that is whenever we're going to see the possibility of some light scattered snow showers entering the region. After that occluded front gets to our east, that's whenever the temperatures are going to tank, with a wind advisory remaining in place through 6 a.m. Saturday. Throughout the overnight, folks, 40 to 45 mile an hour gust out of the north and west. That's going to usher in that Arctic air mass, setting the stage for what could be on the table next. Talking about the wind speeds, we're working throughout this morning. The HRRR is picking up on this very nicely. I'm very pleased with this. We got readings right around the upper 30s, lower 40s region-wide. That's what the real-time observations on the Mesonet is showing. And then we work into the midday time frame into the early afternoon. Remember where I said that aversion was going to erode out? Take a look at those readings. 55, 59 mile an hour wind gusts, potentially exceeding 60 miles an hour by around lunchtime. Short-range model guidance is throwing out 63 miles an hour as a potential wind gust here. So needless to say, this is going to be a high-impact event, regardless of the rain out there. It's just worth taking note of. We continue with a high wind warning, then after that subsides, the wind advisory remains in place. This is valid for 9, 10, 11 p.m. tonight. We still got gusts showcasing up around 40 miles an hour. It's pretty insane and is a testament to this very complex, difficult to forecast weather maker. Now let's fast forward after today. We are watching the potential for snowfall. We get the cold that is absolutely locked in here on the backside of this low pressure system. Winds are going to remain gusty throughout our Saturday. I think we'll get some breaks of sunshine in here, so that'll be able to give us a little bit of vitamin D, but being in the great outdoors might not be recommended with the high-speed winds that we're going to be dealing with. The bottom drops out on our temperatures throughout our Saturday night on into our Sunday morning. This is where we're going to set the stage, folks, for the opportunity and the potential to get some snow on the ground. We are continuing to see the trend that we've seen here over the past day and a half or so, to where we see the southern stream track of this weather maker. The trough continues to dig a little bit deeper on guidance, and this sprawling area of high pressure that's going to be nosing down to the south and east isn't bringing us what we want to see if you're a winter weather and a snow lover like myself. Because this sprawling Arctic high is going to be suppressing and trying to push the heaviest bands of snow right along into the south of the region. I'll be the first to say it, folks. If this comes to fruition with this Arctic high getting very, very strong, we're going to be looking at very little, if any, snow accumulation on the ground. There is one thing I would like to note, folks. I don't want to make too much of a fuss about it, but where we're seeing the model showcasing the low down here across the deep south, I'm not throwing too much fuss at, because at times it can typically be seen as we get closer to the time period, the low pressure experiences a poleward migration. meaning that it pulls a little bit further to the north towards the North Pole and gets displaced a tad bit to the north and west from where the models are showing. So if that was to come to fruition, right now where we see the heaviest snow band down here would be displaced 50 to 100 or so miles off to the north and west, putting us in the bullseye for that event. Now you will note, folks, this is taking place Sunday night into Monday morning, and then we roll on into our Monday night into our Tuesday as well. Another opportunity at a little blip of snow that's going to work through the region. And then again, as we work into our Tuesday afternoon, into Tuesday night, and on into Wednesday. So this isn't going to be just a one-pop shop. We will be looking at these little disturbances and waves rolling through here that can bring some scattered light snow showers to the region at any point in time, late Sunday afternoon, all the way through early Wednesday morning. Coming along with that, folks, if we get a decent snowpack on the ground, we're going to be looking at dangerously cold temperatures and wind chills that are going to be out there as well, okay? So we'll be needing to pay close attention to that. Here's a look at the latest from the ensemble blend of guidance for the probability of seeing at least 1 inch of snow on the ground by sunrise on Tuesday. We've been given a 61% probability right now by the blend of models, and the models are trying to come into agreement, folks. But as we've been discussing here over the past few days, we need to get today's weather maker out of here so these other models can get a nice handle on how the following potential winter weather maker will be unfolding moving forward late into the weekend and progressing on into the early days of next week. Getting a look here at the latest from the Storm Prediction Center, we have been given a level 1 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. Damaging winds without question are the primary concern that'll be coming along with any strong to severe cells that's able to get going this afternoon and on into this evening, okay? Looking at total rainfall amounts, right on the cusp of anywhere from ½ an inch up to just over an inch of total rainfall can't be rolled out with this particular weather maker, okay? So if we can jump over here now, folks, we want to break it down for you and get a view of what the latest is regarding the full breakdown here over the upcoming days, all right? So first and foremost is what we had previously mentioned. We have got damaging wind gusts that are slated throughout the entirety of today, all right? We're looking at a wind advisory in place right now all the way through 6 a.m. on Saturday, but in between that, from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. today, a high wind warning for wind gusts of 50 to potentially 60 plus miles an hour. It does not have to be raining for you to get in on these dangerous wind levels. Then the isolated severe storm threat we just mentioned. Straight line winds are the primary concern. Late weekend into early next week, we have been upped to anywhere from a 60 to 70% probability of experiencing impacts from a winter weather maker. This would obviously bring sensible impacts to travel and snow-covered, ice-covered roadways out there. It's not so much the amounts, folks. It's the impacts that we're going to experience as a result of that. If you throw down 2 inches of snow on the ground or 3 inches of snow on a roadway, it doesn't make too much of a difference. And if we end up getting more than that, well, again, it's the same song and dance. But personally for me, and for all you other winter weather lovers out there, we've been greatly deprived of any significant snow. I don't know about you all. I've got some cabin fever. I'm really hoping to be able to get out there early next week and hit Hospital Hill with the Flying Saucer sledding machine, all right? Going on down here, talking about dangerously cold wind chill probabilities coming along with the Arctic air mass with the winter weather maker. We are looking at the probability of wind chills down at 10 below 0 or less. Sunday morning, we're right on the cusp of a 10% probability. Tuesday morning, 10 to 20% probability. And then look at Wednesday morning, a 30 to 40% probability of wind chills at 10 below or greater in that time frame. These are obviously dangerous levels, folks, so we're going to have to keep very, very close eyes on this as we progress here over the upcoming days. All right, so let's jump over here and we will give you the full 5-day forecast weather breakdown. Widespread showers and storms throughout the entire of today. A few of those could become strong to severe. High wind warning in place throughout. It will remain breezy throughout the overnight with tanking temperatures. Gradual clearing skies throughout our Saturday, but the winds are going to remain very strong. Highs in the mid-30s. Wind chills will likely be down into the 20s. Sunday, clouds will be thickening up with a high temperature of 22 degrees. Scattered snow showers in the forecast Sunday night all the way into Martin Luther King Jr. Day, on into our Monday night, on into our Tuesday and Tuesday night with those multiple disturbances that we discussed. Likely opportunity at single digits or even below zero real-time lows. And the possibility, folks, if we get a snowpack on the ground, we could roll into maybe Tuesday with not escaping the single digits for high temperatures during the afternoon. Folks, that's going to wrap up your Friday morning Weather or Not forecast, brought to you by Ohio Valley Insurance. You all stay weather updated, stay weather aware, stay safe out there, check in on your family and friends, stay locked in right here with us across all of our platforms. We'll be updating as necessary. You all have a fantastic, safe, blessed